today what we will do is that we will discuss rate table. So we know that we have to use scales and calculation base are used to model rate table. So that is what we have learned yesterday. So scales and calculation base is what we have understood. So there are some standard scales. We don't have to create any scales or calculation base. We don't have to do anything there. So we just have to use them. All we have to do is we have to use them. So how do we use them? So yesterday, if you remember, we tried to create we created a scale and we wanted to use them, correct? So if we go to edit scale, we can see what we have created yesterday. So if we go to edit scale, so there are two scales which we have yesterday, right? So what are those two scales? So we have TM22 LOC location and TM22 scale, right? We have these two. Let us just brush through. Let us try to understand quickly the prerequisites for rate table. Yeah. So this is location, right? So in the creation of your scale, you just need to give your scale type, scale and the description and the scale base. Okay, whatever is the scale base which you are going to use, that is what you are going to assign. Okay, in this case, it is going to be the location. Very important activity which you have to perform when you are going to create a scale for your rate table. So why are you creating a scale? You are creating a scale to be used in a rate table. That is the main purpose. So although you define the basic data here, the most important data which you are going to give in creating the scale is in items. So here, this particular scale is location, right? So in items, what you are going to give is for which locations you want to determine the rates is what you are giving here, right? So in our case, our customer is TM22CU1. So I want to give some rates for this customer, and I've picked up some other available customer for whom I want to give some other rate, right? So you could give different options here and maintain different rates. We will see how it is maintained. So which means, and then of course you just have to mention whether the calculation type is percentage, absolute, relative, whatever, relative or absolute. So in this case, you could give absolute. Okay, and let us also look at the other one, the weights, how they are maintained. System is quite slow here, so just okay. So let us now see what we maintain for weight, for example, right? So weight is the other scale. Okay, So similarly, we give the scale and description, and then the scale base is weight. So you determine the scale base as weight, and you could take a to scale, like from scale and to scale is what you would have. So you could pick up the to scale, and then the unit of measure in this case it is weight. So we have given kgs in our material master. You can give it if you want, otherwise you can just avoid it. So which you could maintain for a rate. Okay, and then come to items. So in items, we want to give different weights for which we want to maintain the okay. So here in this, if you remember, for location, for scale location, we have maintained the customers, different customers based on which we want to maintain some rates. Okay, some customers we had given, but in this case here for weight, for scale, for weight, what we want to give, what we want to give is basically different weights, like 100 kgs or 200 kgs, 500 kgs, 1000 kgs, 1500 kgs, like that. So we could give weights like this, and then give the calculation type. In this case, relative. Okay.
Satish,
So like this, you could give the you could
Satish, just one. Can we change the weights 100, 200 to any other number? Is it possible?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Of course. Yes. 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 Okay. If you want, you can do. You can say 2000, for example.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So you can just give something like this, 2000 or something like that. Why this is important is some people, they don't give this information, and they'll give some details in the rate table itself. Some people do that. I will show you how that is done. But my suggestion would be to use this method. So what will happen if you use this method is that the options you are already giving here, already you are giving the options here, and you will be calling this scale. When you call this scale, it will pick up all these options automatically in your rate table. Okay, so when you when you create scale, you plan these. How do you plan these? So typically, how you plan these is based on your sales order or your freight order, whatever weight is mentioned in the freight order, right? Just see if it is like 1000 or whatever is there. Then according to that, you just maintain your scale, and then you mention it right here. My suggestion is don't do it in the rate table itself. You can do it. There is an option which I will show you where you can do it there also. But this could be much easier. So if you, because there's nothing much you are going to do here, right? What are you doing? You're just giving scale, description, then simply you are giving weight, and then to scale. That's all. And just maintain whatever are the parameters. That's all. So once you're done with this, you are ready with your two dimensions which you have created. Of course, you can create more dimensions. That's fine. But for now we are creating two dimensions, right? And and then now we go on to what is rate table. So we know what rate table is, and so for these dimensions which we create, we'll be maintaining the rate table. So how does the rate table look like? At least just for a quick glance before getting into the rate table itself. So rate table somewhat looks like this. So typically it will have four different modules within that rate table. So one is general data. Then important, these two are very important. right? Of course, administrative data, Excel integration. So externally, you can integrate Excel. We will see that. Okay. Then let us first look at general data. So in general data, you have components such as the basic data and the charge type settings. Let us understand this part first. So it's very simple. Rate table, you are just typing in the name of the rate table and then the description. Okay. And then this is charge usage. Okay. So this charge, who's going to use this particular rate table? Is the salesperson using it? Is it used for sales process? Is it used for purchasing process? Is it used for intercompany process? Is it used for, or is this rate table applicable for all of these people? Okay. So we will see what are the other options. Right now, it says service provider, for example, right? So, but there are other options. So we will see in the system what are the other options, and of course time zone, the rate consume time zone as a data, right? These are certain important fields in the basic data. Whereas in charge type settings, what are you doing in charge type settings? So, so basically, why is this? For what is this rate table? For whose sake is it? The rate table is for the sake of charge type. Basically, we are creating rate table for the sake of charge type. Like you see here, because charge type is pointing to a rate table. Therefore, we are creating this rate table for the consumption by the charge type. That is the purpose we are doing it. Therefore, we need to tell, like, who's going to use this rate table. So in that perspective, we need to mention like who's going to use this particular rate table. So this charge type is going to use basic right in this case, right? And then you have something called charge category. These are certain classifications which are there. Charge sub, right? Then positive or negative.